Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Shadow and the Blade. We have intercepted Thorgrim Grudgebearer, or at least we have the option of intercepting Thorgrim Grudgebearer, moving through the underway. And I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, there's not really a good reason for us to take this battle, right? I don't know exactly where we are in the mountains, but we have Ikit Claw and Vomik up there. Why take a fair fight when we can probably, with a little bit of repositioning, end up turning this into a 2v1, right? Plus, I'm not, since it'll be an underway battle, it'll be one of those long, narrow tunnel battles, we don't really have a tremendous amount of good range in this army, and he has 3 cannon batteries and a bolt thrower. I'm not confident we would even win this if we went 1v1. So let's not. Let's decline to intercept him. We'll figure that all out. We will fight him the only way a Skaven ever fights, with a massive advantage in a situation where we cannot possibly lose. Why do it any other way, right? I do not remember a huge amount about where we are here. What do they want? I imagine it's peace. Yeah, they would like to pay me 1,000 gold for peace. What a surprise. No, absolutely not. You're getting wiped out. But first he's going to take the moot from us. Remamute the lethal, unfortunately, proving to be somewhat less than lethal here. Also, that's very sad that he was like, well, my name's Remamute, and I know one of our nation's most famous generals is also named Remamute, so I really gotta stand out somehow, right? I gotta figure out a way that people are gonna think I'm even cooler than that guy. Oh, I know. I'll just change my name to Remamute the really badass. Remamute the most awesomest. That's not gonna work, man. Nobody's gonna buy that. Vashnar wants a military alliance. He can go to hell all the way to hell. So yeah, I recorded the last couple of episodes sort of all at once, and so it's been a few days since I played, and I don't have a super great memory of exactly where all of our armies are. We're gonna figure this out here. While on a seek-find mission, Infectique discovers a relic of some kind, which looks pretty and stinks of magic. Ooh, who doesn't love a good magic stink? He hasn't deemed it important to reveal this to you yet. You know about it due to a spy in his ranks. So we can order him before us, take his potion of toughness at a massive loyalty loss, or I can feign indifference, which for some reason causes us to gain 1,500 gold. Well, I don't want a potion of toughness, and I don't want him to lose 5 loyalty, and I do want 1,500 gold. So that doesn't seem like much of a choice. And then during a feast, as enemies are consumed and the paunches of their peers are measured with envious eyes, Hadar boasts rather too loudly of the scavenge hall he has discovered, within which sits a relic of great value. Is it great value, though? So we could flay his tail, which seems like a terrible thing to do, in exchange for us getting an item that I won't equip on anyone, or we can let them fight over it, which increases our tax rate by 10%. Ah, because of the fighting, reparation, troop, whatever, okay. Yeah, give me the tax rate, obviously. Most of our lords are in a really good place, loyalty-wise, so Jesus. There are too many dwarves in the world, we gotta fix this. Also, we're being raided, also, we have rebellions imminent. Our whole nation is in such a state right now. How long do we have left on this? Okay, this is the last turn of the Confederation debuff. I am so glad to hear that. Let's go down the list. Ikit Claw, hold on a second. Alright, so this is where Thorgrim Grudgebearer is. He's trying to flee from us to the south, where there are some undefended territories he can attack. That's actually a little bit awkward. It's not necessarily going to be super easy to deal with him here. Where can we underway move to? We can make it as far as that. That is not within reinforcement range, sadly. Can Ikit Claw make it any further? No, Ikit Claw can make it considerably less far, actually. Alright, well, I think we're going to underway chase him and be behind him. I don't think I want to separate the armies by too much. And we don't want to execute an underway move with Shife, because then he would be able to intercept us. And like I'm saying, I think he actually wins an underway battle one-on-one against this army. So I'm gonna march mode to Mount Gunbad, I guess? Like, we want to get out of the, attrition zone, right? Okay, and he's in Vomic's reinforcement range, so if the dwarves turn around to attack him... Yeah, Thorgrim Grudgebearer is going to get... He's going to get out, he's going to get south, he's going to cause some havoc, and then we're going to catch him and kill him. It's not a big deal. Bilefitch put down that Border Prince's army, so... I guess just march back toward the coast? Let's take him back to Zvorak, back towards Zvorak. I don't know exactly what he's going to do, but he needs to get back over here where the action is. Alright, the good Remamute was pressing toward dealing with rebellions, right? Oh no, we were taking Border Prince's territory with these two, that's right. Well, we should probably keep that going. So, Queek can reach Wertbad. Neither one of us can reach Flensburg, but from Wertbad, Flensburg's not too bad. So yeah, let's start with this. Remamute. We should be able to just throw these two armies at this and not have to actually play the battle, I think. This is a little inconvenient, though, just like the arrangement of the forests in here is going to make it kind of awkward to move around. These guys are going to be at this for several turns, is my concern. I will take that over. At some point here in the near future, we're going to have to declare war on Kislev, but not right this second. We have a lot of other stuff going on right now. Okay, so that's Remamute's final skill point. What was I doing? Maybe I should make make myself a little note. Well, we could grab Rally, since we did finish engineering skill. Is there any other single skill point that gives us as much value as having Rally? Probably not in the situation we're in, right? Voice of the Horned Rat is okay. I mean, Rally only works around him anyway. Maybe Voice of the Horned Rat's just better. We could also pick up a single point of one of these redline skills, but I don't know that any of them are significant enough for that to be a sensible move. You can put 1 point in Corruptive, 1 point in Wary, 1 point in Warpstone tokens. Honestly, 13 extra wins of power reserve, not really that great. We could put it into Tail Weapon, because now that he's on his bell, we do use him to melee infantry lords sometimes, so we can make him slightly better at that. But I think this is actually the way we're going here. This is probably better than Rally most of the time. And the reason we take Rally instead is because we're actually going to this box, but he is at level cap, and we'll never get another skill point. Victory! Speaking of, level cap and never get another skill point. So we could grab a level of Life is Very Cheap. That would be, I think, my obvious inclination. We could also grab Stand or Die. Upgrade Rally with plus 24 melee defense. Yeah, you know what? That's the right thing to do. 24 is a lot of melee defense. Alright, while you guys are stopped for a turn, you should each grab a unit of something. You have plenty of defensive melee troops. A unit of Death Runners, maybe? And then Queek's whole deal needs to change. I know these guys are high... These guys are high level and everything, but they're also just totally worthless. How many... Okay, I can local recruit. Nothing better. He needs to be in a different stance to have access to the real thing, and he doesn't have the movement to get into another stance, so I guess never mind. We'll have him step over to here, and he can just recruit a single unit of, I don't know, another unit of slingers. He certainly doesn't need more melee. Just to fill out. He can take Flensburg by himself next turn while Wertbad starts east. And we have Vomik here. I guess go and make sure that thing I just said is true. Is it sensible for my armies to separate? Are there border princes waiting for us in the fort? No, okay. Perfectly reasonable. We just have to clean up a couple of little armies. There was a border prince's army that attacked the Moot last turn. Those guys have got to be somewhere. Because it certainly wasn't Conroy Dietzen. Huh. Yeah, where did those guys go? Oh, you know what? Actually, we might have to have one of these guys turn around and put down this rebellion, because it's not going to handle itself. Alright, back to the list. We are looking at Hadar now. Hadar is here to put down a rebellion. One has to imagine, yeah, he will succeed overwhelmingly, given that the city garrison gets to help out with this and everything. Let's take a leadership boost. We're running around in friendly territory, so we're going to be getting the good replenishment all the time. We certainly don't need additional points of replenishment. Alright, so we got you to Deadly Onslaught. Warpstone weapon, probably worth having. Getting pretty close to immortality, and then from here, I don't know if we're going to redline him or blueline him. We're actually kind of okay on money. We don't really need to push hard for the upkeep reductions, so... Hold on a second. Let me go look at the list of settlements where we have to be wary of our public order. Okay. Argwalon's going to be positive on public order next turn. Things in Averland are less than ideal. Let's turn off taxation. But this is to determine where Hadar needs to move to next. We had to figure out which places are in danger. We may as well build an arcane generator here. We don't really need to make anything else. I mean, we may as well build some basic garrison stuff since it makes money anyway. And then, like, recruitment structures. And the higher tier recruitment structures make less gold per turn than the lower ones upgrade to, right? No, it's about the same as what the lower ones upgrade to. Okay, well, building those is not a high priority. It's certainly a thing that is worth doing with money eventually, but it doesn't have to be what we do right now while we still have, like, real upgrades to do. So we will need a rebellion dealt with here, but I'm not going to turn off taxation because it won't help. Let's get defenses going. So south. It may be the case that Hadar runs south and it's his job to put down the rebellions at Faldorf and Karakern. That's looking fairly likely. Things are not really a problem here, nor here. Just looking for the ones that are red and falling. East Border Princes, we may as well turn taxation back on. We have an army in this area. This one's under control. We don't have to worry too much about that. It's doing that thing again. I don't know why. Last episode, the scroll wheel was moving the list of settlements at a reasonable rate, and now it's not again. And we are definitely going to need a bell here. May as well put that up while we're looking at it. And then Hellpit is fine. Hellpit's fine. Hawkland is fine. Remember, we're gonna have +8 public order everywhere after this turn. We may as well turn taxation back on here. This is gonna be okay. Mootland is not going to rebel. So yeah, I think his play is move south. Karak Ungor is going to need one of the armies from the south to turn around. That's probably what Shife's job is going to be. Just go north. Let Ikiclaw and let the professionals go deal with the dwarves. The professional dwarf dealer with her guys. Alright, you're fine. You are a rebellion that we can't do anything about, so we may as well turn taxation back on. There's another rebellion. Oh boy. Well, we knew there were going to be some rebellion problems post-Confederation. All of that stuff has come true. This is actually going to be okay. May as well put the upgrade in there, right? The vaults are going to be okay once the Confederation debuff goes away. Bisonland. Okay, yeah, so I think things are largely under control. Giant Home is whatever. Even if it rebelled out and we lost it, we wouldn't care. God, we have so much territory. And then finally, Trollheim is gonna be okay-ish. I'm gonna turn off taxation here for a little bit. Okay, so I think that means Hadar goes south. That seems to be the sensible way to do this. Maximum full sprint to the south. It is going to take him a while to get there, but he will do it. Alright. And he'll probably still do it before anything bad actually happens. Alright, Birdie Bratch has run past Doc Karaz. His whole army's in march mode. Stonecritch's army is powerful and feeling pretty fresh. This should be an easy one, right? We've got these guys very captured, especially if we roll the lucky ambush. Okay, the game doesn't think that it's going to be that easy. But, like, looking at this, we got this. This is fine. I don't think I'm trying to preserve food for anything. We may as well roll the maximum number of charges just in case I'm overestimating the ease with which we're going to win this battle. But this is going to be good. Birdie Bratch was the last Border Prince's army in the south, right? Once we clear this out, I think that makes a lot of our area much, much safer. I'm assuming that the reason the auto-resolver is giving us such poor odds here is that it's overvaluing all the guns that the enemy brought. I mean, they brought a lot of guns, don't get me wrong. And I do wish that this army had, like, cavalry. I think I'll start with 23, that's fine. So the only thing we really have to worry about is their mortar. And a mortar is very good against massed infantry. It's probably the single best siege weapon piece against massed infantry. Well, that's not true. There's a lot to be said for the Hellstorm rocket battery, I think. So I guess what we want to do is, I believe that our units have a superior full cyclic fire DPS, so we really just want to like get into the gunfire part of this battle relatively quickly, trying to not place units in the depression down here. You can see these guys are going to have pretty abbreviated line of sight. Yeah, we had to pull them back a little bit. This is fine though. Catapults behind them, put the other troops just kind of nearby. Yeah, those catapults are dealing some damage. And then you know how we're going to deal with that that mortar and everything. We do want to try to spread our troops out maybe a little bit thinner than usual, just to minimize mortar casualties at first. And I'm going to put these guys back here. Remember, they're stealthed until an enemy gets close, so they shouldn't suffer mortar fire. And I want the enemy to not get close enough to see them until it's too late, you know? Alright. I mean, I want this guy somewhere where he's definitely going to be able to cast his spells on the enemy as they approach in a useful way. And we're probably actually just going to have the settlement garrison as it comes in run directly at the enemies. All we're really trying to do is draw their melee troops forward, right? So that we can draw them away from the mortar crew, so that the mortar crew can get menaced from below. So what spells do we have? We don't have Arcane Conduit, but it looks like we do have all of the basic spells. We don't yet have the dreaded 13th, but we do have Plague. Summoning up a Menace Below charge right now will not accomplish very much. It's just going to get all of our guys murdered by rifles. As soon as they stop to shoot at us, we can, of course, I was going to wait for them to approach. Maybe we should approach them? Reconsidering my strategy a little bit here. Like, we're going to take a ton of... Whoever is advancing is going to take a huge amount of wounds from gunfire. Okay, let's make these guys a little bit smarter. We'll have them actually, like, run out to here. Okay. I'm not going to advance. This is the right... It is the right play to let them come to us. Let's make sure that we are shooting at the enemy ranged. Preferably the enemy ranged in the middle of their stuff. Okay, the mortar crew stopped to fire. We're going to sustain a few losses here. What's the range on Assault of Stone? It's not bad, actually. You guys just go straight for those dudes. Like I said, I'm just going to use these troops to basically be distractions. The Assault of Stone did some damage. Alright, I think they're committed enough that this begins to make sense now. Although, the Menace Below units disagree a little bit. Human mortar crews are much more killable than Dwarven mortar crews. And then I think now that we've got them like focused on things, now is the time to start moving our units in. Also, now is the time to start casting... I don't know, we could bless with filth a little bit. Those guys are about to give up. And we're going to see a lot of these units give up. Probably buffing these guys doesn't really help that much. What about I start a plague? Plague has a pretty short cast range. Yeah, we'll hold off. I guess there's no reason for me to do much of anything yet. The gunners should be... We're close. We're close to shooting. I'm going to have this unit of gunners try to find a lot... Oh, man, that's actually... In order to get a good shot on those guys, we're going to have to wing out to, like, here. But I think we probably want to move up. The way this is breaking, if I just sit back and wait for the shot, we're never going to get the shot we want. Let's have these guys try again to get around to the flank, because we could be shooting people in the back and getting free damage here. And now that the mortar crews are distracted, I think it's also time to... consider bringing up the rest of the melee. So who do we already have orders on? You guys are... Okay, you guys are the rightmost in that group. So you three... I don't know. Figure it out. Once our good units move up, perhaps it will make more sense for us to start blessing with filth. Got some good catapult work being done there. None of them turned around to defend their mortar crew, which is awesome. Very, very good news for us. We do have some cowards surrendering, but you know, this is the whole point of the settlement garrison moving up is that they get to absorb casualties for the rest of us. You guys help with that. Have to move these gunners to the side. Actually, just collapse in on those guys. Remember, a lot of our melee have shields, and so some of this gunfire is going to be less effective than they would like. You guys are not doing a very good job. Okay, well, again, these are just garrison troops. If all they accomplish is keeping the enemy gunners distracted for a little while, that's actually 100% fine. Make sure that the catapults are continuing to fire on the most important enemy units. This guy's over here. Yeah, this... You know what? You guys just attack there so that you guys can run at the handgunners. And we need to figure out how to get these death runners into the situation. So these rattling guns need to form up like hereabouts. We want to make absolutely sure we have death runners in on the enemy characters, making their lives miserable. Because removing armor from those enemy characters is going to be really important. And this is the time for a blessing. Alright, gunline's doing gunline work. Okay, I think this should be over relatively soon. Do I have Overcast? Oh, I do have Overcast. Alright, I'm gonna plague those guys up real good. Get in there on those characters. This should be working these other gunners. It's kind of hard to tell with certain colors of terrain where the elevation changes are. I find it easier to tell on green ground than it is on brown ground. I don't know if that's like if that's an issue everybody has. But so sometimes I can't tell when we're on terrain like this if we're having issues firing due to elevation problems, or if it's just like my units have decided they don't care about shooting at the enemies, which, as you have seen, is a thing that happens all the time for some reason. These guys think they're going to be able to escape. They do not understand how absolutely everywhere my units are. Okay. This should be over presently. Those guys, make sure those guys go down. You should probably actually step around here. We can fire into the backside of some of these enemy characters. And we should also probably be casting more spells. Let's do some more blessing. I mean, our melee troops are actually just straight winning, which is not a thing that I'm used to. somebody got into the melee. Our lord needs to be... or got into the gunners, rather. Fortunately, it's just like a very wounded unit of halberds, and they're not even really stopping my guys from firing, but let's maybe be a little bit more cautious here. I feel like you guys could be firing. Nope, they needed to be a half a centimeter forward before they had the ability to shoot there. Okay, the storm vermin are just gonna run. I mean, I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen the enemy give up yet. I'd be considering surrender in their situation, right? It seems like it's going really badly. Then again, it's entirely possible that they know that surrender to a Skaven doesn't really... It's not like we're just gonna stop killing. Just like, the people who surrender are the ones who get eaten, so yeah, never mind. I totally understand why they wouldn't surrender. Alright, good XP on the catapults. We should see level ups there pretty soon. I'm hoping that we can get our whole backline weapons team 2 gold ranks pretty quickly here. So this ought to make it pretty easy for us to clean up the rest of the Border Prince's settlements down in the south, that pair of settlements that they own. Which means we're probably only a couple of turns from these guys being wiped out completely. Once they're wiped out, we have to start thinking about how we're going to approach Kislev. Unfortunately, the Kislevites have a couple of settlements that are in my territory, due to like the weird way they reached out during all the fighting in the south, and also the fact that I never bothered to settle Salzenmund, and then they did it, despite the fact that that's a terrible place for them to settle. So we're going to have to figure that out. We're going to position our armies a little bit more carefully before attacking them than we did before attacking the Border Princes. Alright, that seems like a pretty good place for you to recover for the turn. Fektik over here wants to be rewarded for killing all those lizard men. I get it, you did good work. So we have Renowned and Feared, we have Standard Die. Does it make sense for us to grab any of that other redline stuff? Honestly, the clan rat buffs wouldn't be terrible. And this one also affects Storm Vermin, so it'll be useful if we upgrade his army. And we totally could afford to upgrade his army. Although probably actually the best thing to do with that money would be to turn it into another army. Alright, there were enemies potentially sailing in, weren't there? Thought I remembered that there were like... I thought I remembered that there were elf or lizardmen armies sailing over from Ulthuan, but maybe I'm wrong. But you know what? We're going to keep Infectique over here. I don't know exactly where. Like, what's the best... Maybe Brion is the best spot as far as response times go. Because that way he can make it north pretty quickly, but he can also make it down to the southern part of Astalia, in case Bretonnian armies sail up from there. And he can just hang out over there. Alright, Deathmaster Snikch needs to solve the Agrul Migdal problem. We probably have to be a little cautious about this. So first of all, there's a lot of places where it's not safe to stand around here because of attrition issues. And secondly, we don't actually have a good sense of where all of the enemy units in the area are, which is a thing we're working on. Alright, so you just hide in this bog for a while until we figure things out.
Sigmar forbids this.
Snikch has moved. Queek is in recruitment. Oh, right. Queek moved already. Scheif moved already. Okay, that's all the armies. What were we doing with Engine Bolt? Engine Bolt was coming over here to join someone's army. That's right. And you can incidentally keep an eye on what's going on with these armies. I need to figure out... There we go. There's where those other guys are. Alright, well, Cherry Flesh, that's your job. Go over there and mess with them. Yeah, this is going to be the last actual stronghold of the Border Princes, probably. We're going to take out the south pretty quickly, I think. I went through and made sure all of our agents had pet wolf rats and apprentices and stuff, so everybody is at maximum assassination chance in case they need to be. We're just going to keep assaulting these guys with a a very poor chance of success, and yet somehow always succeeding. That'll show him. These guys are probably... I know I had them both running west, but I'm thinking one of the two agents down here should probably... It's going to be this one. Should probably turn north, and we can try to have him harass Thorgrim's army as it moves through the mountains. You can keep going where you're going. And then we've already dealt with the rebellions as best we can. Yep, it's just going to be a mess for a little while. Again, we did not win any warp fuel from our battle here, which is a real shame. I sure would love to have some Doom rockets, man. Apparently, we need to get a lot better at making warp fuel happen. I think we took the workshop upgrade that gives us a higher chance of getting warp fuel from battles, didn't we? Reasonably sure. Or maybe I'm misremembering and there wasn't one. I know that there was an upgrade that gives us an increased chance of getting warp fuel from a battle where a rocket was used. Maybe there isn't one for just general battles. Alright, well, it looks like Clan Pestilence is holding their own, or at least they're recovering a little bit in the jungle. That's really good for us. What we really want is for them to somehow take and hold one or two of the important settlements on that continent, so that later in the game, when we've accomplished all of our other objectives, we can just confederate them and immediately win. I don't know how realistic that is. They seem to be having some problems over there. But if they could just, like, take and hold Itza, that would probably be good enough. And we are defensive allies with them, so I think I'm allowed to tell them to do that. I guess it depends on who controls Itza. It would have to be somebody who we're both at war with in order for me to issue a coordination target. Interesting. Thorgrim just stopped and started raiding right where he was. That should allow us to hit him with a pretty big force. I guess normal movement through those mountains kind of sucks. It might be a couple of turns of movement to catch up to him. And as we get closer, he might run away. Is Vashnar gonna sail over to Ulthuan and fight the High Elves? That doesn't seem like a good idea. I mean, I guess we know the AI likes doing that. Yep, 4 rebellions, plus the 2 rebellions that we haven't controlled yet. And what a big surprise, absolutely everywhere we are being attacked. Okay, all those lords that we fired when we took over control of this empire are now ready to serve again. Can't imagine us actually using them. Alright, let's deal with this problem in the mountains first. Okay, Thorgrim Grudgebearer. He is raiding us for a fairly significant amount of money. I'm going to have you underway move to the north, because somebody's got to get over there and deal with that rebellion. And Ikit Claw and Vomik can put down Thorgrim Grudgebearer, hopefully for one of the last times. Oh yeah, look at how bad our movement is. We cannot catch him this turn. Well, oh that's right. We're not going to eliminate the dwarves anytime soon though, because of the weird little dwarven area down here. We're probably going to be fighting Thorgrim Grudgebearer for the rest of the game. What a sad, sad realization. Well, we definitely want to do normal movement. We want to try to get close enough to him to be able to attack him next turn. So we want to creep up. We want to go into ambush stance. Hope that he doesn't realize that we are creeping 2 armies up to him. Ikit Claw managed to find a way to do this without taking any attrition damage. How much movement do you have left? Probably not enough for me to be able to move him back. Yeah, he has to go way back. Never mind, just sit there in ambush stance. Alright, hopefully Thorgrim will think it is safe to just stand there and raid, and then next turn we can have at him. They're going to try to rebuild its stone mine, and it is your job to stop that from happening. Are we better off going through Matorka's port? I mean... No, we're probably using this beachhead here to get up, so... Alright, stone mine should be easy enough to take, and then we can have Seeprich go for Valiasara. Or Stunkrich, sorry. You know, all Skaven have, like, kind of similar names. There's a similarity, to be sure. I don't think there's a reason to do anything other than just, like, haul ass over there at full speed. Oh, except I want to do this in such a way that I'm not taking attrition, so we have to be careful about where we go. But yeah, there are no other enemies in this area. We don't have to be afraid of anything. Alright, so that part of the plan is going splendidly. Other parts of the plan, less so. We should have a very easy time claiming Flensburg. Oh, his army took, like, way more damage than I was expecting there. I guess his units are pretty bad, but even so. Okay, so now we have access to the cheap units in here, and 5 of them. Let's fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guys. Do I just want to pull in clan rats? What do you spec to help out? Clan rats, night runners and gutter runners, and weapon teams. You know, I'm fine just making this largely clan rats. I guess we have a lot of clan rats already, and I definitely want to have some units that are capable of actually killing a thing. Plus, we recruit death runners at rank 4. Yep, I'm going to make it all death runners. There you go. Now your army will be capable of something. Also, we're going to see a lot of those units die off fairly frequently, probably. So Remamute heads this way, but carefully. Let's have the scouts make sure that it's safe to move forward. It's just this one army.
Kill their scouts. No malice.
Wow, you have no points in Assassinate. Oh, that's the AI was building you for combat. Well, maybe we should stick to that then. Vomik can become a fighter. Cherry Flesh can come over here and also harass these poor guys. So yeah, we don't have to be afraid of any reprisals, because their army's going to be in horrible shape. Maybe I spoke too soon. That said, I think I'm still going to short move and go into ambush mode. Because we don't really want the enemy to know we're coming if we don't absolutely have to let them know. And this will give Queek a little bit of time to catch up as well. Nothing fancy for Hadar to do, he just needs to run, 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 run. His Warlock Engineer gets to finish learning Flensing Ruin, which we've cast once, I think, over the course of the campaign. Listen, it's probably a good spell. It has a good name. You guys live in Brionne. So this is maybe going to be a little bit tricky. Ulrich Dietzen's army is not terrible, and he does outnumber us thanks to the garrison of Agromigdal. Those guys are relatively fresh and probably not terribly healthy right now. But this might not be a super easy thing to claim. Should I just assassinate this guy? Yes. Yeah, let's get rid of him. We'll do more scouting next turn. So, what do we know about... Is this Sudenburg? Yeah. What do we know about Sudenburg? They own a handful of settlements down here. I'm not at war with these lizard men, but they might declare war on us at any moment. They really, really don't like me. And they also don't like that I'm killing everybody that I'm killing. We just need more armies down here. We are not in a position where Deathmaster Snikch is going to be able to handle all this by himself. Maybe he'd be better off moving to Gorgazan? Just abandon Agromigdal for the moment? Because Gorgazan probably doesn't have a full army in it, right?
Blades hidden, blades ready.
Trying to find a place over here where I'm not suffering from attrition, and also I have enough movement left to go into ambush mode. It is hard to move around in the Badlands. It's marked as ideal terrain for us, suitable climate, but man, it's a nightmare to actually be down here. Alright, so that is pretty much everybody. Engine Bolt is going to these armies. He's going to Queek's army, right?
Sneak, scurry. I sing.
Can you kill this guy? Yeah, get rid of him.
And good something.
Ooh, a critical success. Nice. It is really helpful to prevent enemy agents from ever building up. You have seen how much trouble can be caused by a high-level agent.
Scurries are killed.
This guy's probably not actually going to be needed in the north, then. It looks like we're probably going to have the Thorgrim situation under control. I'm still going to move him up here just in case I've misestimated and things do spiral a little bit.
They're a labra.
You have to take, like, a lot of stuff. You need all of your blue skill points.
Iona, scurry, move.
Alright, so, now that the Confederation effect is worn off, let's go through all of our red and falling settlements one more time and see if we can figure out their stuff. Provincial instability is still really bad in Averheim, unfortunately. You know, Hadar's moving through. It won't be a big deal. We'll be able to put down any rebellions that spawn here. What else is red and falling? Eastern Sylvania, we're working on that. Abel is under construction right now. We should definitely finish the defenses at Waldenhof. And then, to be perfectly honest with you, Waldenhof might build another bell, just to, like, make absolutely certain we keep things under control. That's probably not necessary. And, of course, it would be better for us to, How much provincial instability is still here? Oh, 5 points. No, we'll be okay without it. It'd probably be better for us just to build, you know, money-making buildings. What does the max level of the bell make? We'd be able to make 100 gold per turn with a bell here, or 160 with the scrap heap. Yeah, that's the right move. May as well upgrade this stuff, and also, you know, the gold mine. That seems like an important one. Oh, hey, what about Marienburg? Before I go spending any more gold... Okay, we are 2 turns off of being able to go for the big dock upgrade in Marienburg. That's a thing we definitely want to do as soon as we can. How about Ehrengrad? Is Ehrengrad doing okay? 3 turns until we can do the next settlement upgrade there. Okay. So that being the case, we can afford to just do some basic upgrades here. We definitely want these recruitment structures up. How much are we short here? Yeah, this can wait. Let's get that recruitment going. And then we may as well also have a rubbish pit. Okay, where else are we red and falling? Lorelorn. But we're working on a bell, and the place won't freak out until after the bell is finished, so that should be fine. The Mootland, that's a provincial instability problem that'll go away over time. Looks like we're doing okay here, actually. Yeah, our public order is pretty much under control. Stirland is provincial instability, and Jufbar is also provincial instability. That will just that will fade away naturally. Okay, feeling pretty good about all of that. Out of curiosity, yeah, I guess there wasn't an upgrade to just make it more likely to find warp fuel in general. Alright, well, that's a shame. Sure would love to build myself another Doom Rocket. And like I said, we definitely have enough income here to run another army, but I'm going to hold off on building that until we get our infrastructure in the new areas a little bit more settled. Right now, we can absolutely spend 22,000 gold per turn just on basic upgrades. Alright, the Dark Elves are doing their best to come to our rescue. They're trying to get over here and help. I don't actually know exactly who all they're at war with. Maybe that would be a good thing for me to work out. Alright, Clan Pestilence doing something. It seems like it's just them against the united everybody else who's on that continent, but that probably won't hold forever. Post Chaos Invasion, after Chaos is fully defeated, all of the forces, the quote-unquote forces of order, get a trait that makes them start to distrust each other more and more, and that distrust can be overcome by positive reputation modifiers from mutual war. So it's not necessarily the case that they'll turn on each other down there. Their goal of together, let us fight Clan Pestilence may keep them working together. But it's also possible they'll splinter and go to each other's throats, especially if they get Clan Pestilence beaten down enough that there's a period where some of them are not fighting Pestilence for a while. We may see them turn on each other, which would be super nice. Okay, that's a very annoying thing for you to do. This is like this tiny army is just going to run around and raid my stuff periodically. How is this helping you survive? How is this doing anything other than making me want to kill you even more? Have you considered the long-term ramifications of your actions? No, of course not. They're humans. And if there's one thing that I know about humans, after living on Earth with them for 35 years, it's that they never, ever consider the long-term ramifications of their actions. Okay. Looks like we're not the only ones who are having rebellion problems in the middle of the old Empire lands. Hopefully that rebellion army can put down that Kislev settlement. God, we find so many random followers. Was that 4 Eshin apprentices that we just pulled up? Where are those? Those guys are equipment. 3 breeders, 3 Eshin apprentices, and a bell follower. For nothing. For not doing anything, just because our turn started. They probably need to do something about that. Followers are very low value, in part because you're just, like, inundated with them all the time.
Many kills today.
So where did Thorgrim Grudgebearer go? He did an underway move away from us, and now he's just out in the dark somewhere. He's probably somewhere around here. Oh no, sorry, he was just slightly behind my units. He did somehow manage to underway move past us without us being able to intercept him, and in a way that did not reveal our ambushes. So he's mega dead.
Stalk. Yes.
No one has ever been as dead.
Suit to war.
Well, I was gonna move my other army into. I was gonna do an encircle and move my other army into reinforcement range. But you know what? I'll just take this ambush. That's good enough. Wow, apparently we almost lost that unit of Doomflayers.
Eat and prepare. Here.
We don't need to take replenishment on Ikitclaw. Ikitclaw's units have a very healthy replenishment rate. We'll be fine.
Inventor.
So now this army just pushes south, right? There's really nothing else for us to do out here. Or pushes southwest. Yeah, we have Scheif dealing with the mountain ranges, so underway move me to, yeah, as far as we can. And you're going to go hang out in Mount Gunbad for a slightly better even replenishment for 1 turn, since you can't make an underway move after spending any amount of movement. And those guys will pursue Vomik next turn.
Oh, yes.
Alright, we're on our way up here. Should probably get Khazid Urkalaz upgraded. That's a mid-priority kind of thing. Just while I'm looking at this, let's make sure that these mountain settlements are in some kind of order. We probably don't actually need defenses on Nashrak's lair. Well, it's close enough to Kislev. You know what? We may as well. Does the defense building... Yeah, it generates money. Everything generates money. This is how Skaven get down, I guess. Here we could just build a bell. Just to be reasonably sure things will stay under control. And then in the southern mountain provinces... Okay, everything's going to be just fine here. Grom Peak should definitely start developing walls, though. Okay. Then... Bilefitch. Can you attack Stone Mine this turn? You cannot. Getting into and out of boats consumes an awful lot of movement. In fact, we cannot even get on land with enough movement left over to be able to start an ambush. So I guess he's going to see us coming. Also, Bilefitch's loyalty is getting a little bit low. We'll deal with it. It won't be a problem. There's not really a lot of value for me in attacking Pustin. Let's just let them do the thing they're doing. I think we can safely just take Oberstyre, right? There are 2 Border Prince armies in the area, but I think together they couldn't take Remamute.
I'll ignore that.
Yeah, I'm going to take Fort Oberstyre.
Destroy them all.
This should be a completely trivial take, and then hopefully we will...
Have them.
Yeah, hopefully we'll come out of this at basically full health. We took a little more damage than I would have liked. Get some replenishment for settling the settlement. Yeah, that's fine. His army can hold out against those two guys combined pretty easily. We will move fast to reinforcement, just in case I was wrong about that. We're going to kick out the other unit of Skaven Slave Slingers, or, honestly, these spears. These spears have no value at all.
Need more trophies, yes. Bridge intact.
Alright, that's a big upgrade for that army. And now they actually have a way of using Winds of Magic and everything. We do still need to get some, like, actual ranged units in here, but one problem at a time. Hadar's units were assaulted, but they already have healed off 100% of the assault damage. We can move into reinforcement range on this rebellion. Next turn we can start cleaning up properly.
Address me as
Stunkrich cannot reach Falea's Sorrow. Are you at war with... Ooh. I would really like it if Malekith did not take Falea's Sorrow from us. I really want to complete my province here. Well, unfortunately I don't think there's anything we can do about it. If he gets it, he gets it. We can try to give him a coordination order to attack somewhere else in the hopes that it will draw off his attention. Okay, you're where you need to be pretty much forever, right? Like, we're not going to be moving you anytime soon. There is an elven army on the east coast of Ulthuan you need to keep an eye on, but aside from that, we're pretty much good. Let's see about giving Malekith an order. Making a request, I should say, of Malekith. Hey, buddy. It would be super cool. Are you at war with... You're not at war with Sudenburg. Okay, you are at war with Bretonia, though. It'd be super cool if you directed that army toward Gorgazan. You know, don't you want to go fight those guys? So Infectique is good. Actually, should we have Infectique? I'm going to have him crouch outside of Brionne in ambush mode. Again, just to negatively affect the AI's decision-making. Hopefully they will not see through that.
Bring pain, death.
Snikch can continue to very, very slowly move toward the move toward Gorgazan. The only way to move safely is slowly. Boy, but slow is not really all that safe. Because, man, you cannot stand almost anywhere out here.
Shadows hide.
It's almost like these lands are really bad or something. I don't know. Somebody ought to come up with a term for this. It would be really helpful to me, actually, if we could get the Dark Elves to declare war on Sudenburg. I wonder if we could talk them into that. Hey, Malekith. Let's say you join my war against Sudenburg. In exchange for... Oh, wow, likelihood of success moderate. Hold on. Okay. There was a non-zero chance that he would just go for that. In exchange for a military alliance? Because he would do this. I wonder if this is worthwhile. Because, like, what's the downside of a military alliance with him at this point? Who could he drag me into a war with? He's already at war with most of the major players. And I am as well. Does he have a problem with anybody that we're trying to remain friends with? He and Clan Moors don't like each other, but that's obviously an issue of the past. You know what? I would do this. And since he really, really wants this to get done, we might be able to weasel some money out of him here as well. What about 2,000 gold? How about less than that? Let's go down to like 1,200. Moderate? Alright, fine. I'll just take the deal without any money involved. We don't need to invite him into war against Karaza Karak. That's basically resolved already. Okay, so let me redirect your attention, sir. Actually, let me just give a war coordination target to his faction as a whole. Help me out with this, please. We may be able to press these Dark Elves into service yet. Oh, also, actually, I'm realizing, can we refresh our trade agreement with them? I know we lost it at some point, but we now have a dock on that side of the continent, and they have a dock too. No, I guess not. A route from their capital cannot be established. Where is their capital now? It's one of these settlements, right? Yeah, it's Dreadrock. Is their current capital? So do we not have? Oh, I guess we actually don't have a dock over here anywhere. None of these settlements are on the water. Yeah, it is not actually possible to trade with those guys. That's a shame. Also, man, we have a lot of territory. Alright, one thing at a time, I'm getting distracted. Did we actually do everything with all of our armies?
Silent killer, yes, yes.
You keep annoying these guys, or at least desperately trying to annoy those guys.
Seek target.
You can also help annoy them. Wow, you're really not likely to get that done. Alright, you know what? Go south and prepare to harass their other army.
Thief in the night.
Obside is exhausted from that assassination, so unlikely he gets anything done, but we may as well try. Until he is max level, we may as well try every turn.
Assassin.
Murta has no reason to go down to the south past Carrick Zorn, so we just keep pushing this way.
I say move. Seek target.
And you... I think I'm more concerned about the Border Prince army than I am about these other guys. We could attempt an assassination. These are relatively high-level characters. They're probably contributing quite a lot to battles, actually. Alright, even a failed assassination is worth a fair amount of XP. And I think that's all of our characters. Do we want to make... I don't think we even want a Plague Priest. Like, I don't have a plan for a Plague Priest. I guess you want to have one around before you have a plan, though, right? Where would we keep him? We'd have to keep him somewhere where he could run to start a plague quickly. But also where he isn't just going to get assassinated. You know what? I don't even want to manage him. I'm not going to worry about it. Alright. Settlements. We have money to spend. We should probably get proper defenses up around Norden. It may actually matter since we're going to declare war on Kislev. That's worth getting upgraded. This is worth getting upgraded. And then, yeah, like all these money-making buildings. They make the same amount of money as our other structures, but they're so cheap to upgrade. Jufbar should probably not be rank 1, and also probably doesn't need a clan pit. Yeah, oh, that's right. Damaged buildings in Eschen, which we cannot do anything about. Well, we'll get all these problems solved. This will happen. Can, I guess, start a rubbish pit? Don't even have the 425 gold for a warren. Ah, well. Okay. We did get one warp fuel. So we're just one more warp fuel away from hitting that lovely Doom Rocket button one more time. I really like the Doom Rockets. You know, one thing we might want to do, actually, thinking about it now, since we have all of this gold cap available, one thing we might want to do is just try to prepare a good Vermintide move. Create a surprise Vermintide army on one of these Couron settlements down here, and then keep those guys around. That's what we can do with all that extra money. Because I would still like to see a Vermintide in action, you know? It's kind of wild that there's no coastal settlements at all in the southeast part of the map. Why do they have an elven trading base down there if there's nobody around there that they could trade with? So at this point, the only dwarven settlements that are left are those ones in that little mountain range down in the Southlands, right? So we're still going to see dwarven armies come at us from time to time, but it's probably going to be... There's going to be a lot more time between us wiping out a dwarven push and the next one showing up, because they don't have any settlements immediately adjacent to our stuff anymore. But unfortunately, we're probably not actually going to eliminate Karaza Karaka as a player until, like, the very end of the game. There's an awful lot of Bretonnians moving around down here. Yeah, we really need, after Valaya's Sorrow gets captured, we really need that second army down at this border. Even if we're not talking about gaining any territory, I'm just, like, very nervous about what we stand to lose if Corone gets their act together anytime soon. I'm kind of curious why they haven't come at me. I don't know what else they're doing. So many rebels. So many rebel armies. Bilefitch. Oh, Bilefitch does need loyalty. Clan Mulder, their wealth is legendary. They ask the number of your troops take part in their experiments. Is Bilefitch in a place where we can afford some attrition? I certainly don't want to cost him loyalty. It kind of... These loyalty options don't really make a lot of sense, but I think we're going to allow the sacrifice. Bilefitch isn't doing anything terribly important. And I'll pay him to be even more loyal. I know, all of my settlements are besieged. Everything is terrible everywhere. We're spreading the rot and decay, and also the Undercity. There's a lot going on. Alright. Research. At this point, we may as well get into monstrous plans. We're using some Skaven slaves, and what does this do? Loyalty up for new recruits, which doesn't matter at all. Let's go ahead and get this, and then we'll push through monstrous plans. So what is this going to add? Another unit of Storm Vermin, not Clan Rats, remember. Bonus for Rat Ogres, which we're not using. Bonus for Hell Pit Abominations, which we have like 2 of, I think, now. And then, yeah, these are not good techs for us. Alright, let's go down the list one more time before the end of the video. Ikit Claw. Underway moves toward where all the action is. Vomit. Underway moves toward where all the action is. And his army's really fast. God, I love a fast army. Bilefitch is going to take a bunch of attrition damage, but hasn't taken any yet. Let's attack Stone Mine Tower right now. Take it easily. And then he's just going to sit in Stone Mine Tower until the bad feelings go away. We should probably try to... Oh, first of all, we should turn on exploitative planning. Then we should probably try to get this place developed a little bit. The Bitterstone Mine doesn't really need to have a recruitment structure in it, probably. It's pretty far from the front. Like, if we were going to recruit new units, it probably wouldn't be here. It'd be in, like... Well, I guess Ekrend is the same province. You know what? We'll leave that in place. It's fine. And if we're going to leave it in place, we may as well upgrade it so that it can actually recruit Storm Vermin. Alright, so that's what Bilefitch is doing for a couple of turns, just hanging out there. Queek, are you in position to... Ooh, you are in position to help with Castle Tempelhof. Okay. So that's a thing we might want to do. We should probably actually take Schwarzhofen first. Because this'll diminish their strength in the area a little bit more. And then that army is basically just permanently trapped in Castle Tempelhof. I'm surprised that we're getting such bad odds on that attack, but we can have Queek come over here and... I'm intentionally not going to defend Fort Oberstar this turn, in the hopes that his army will come over and take it and resettle it. Because if we can catch that army in that spot, then we can take Castle Tempelhof with, without it having any reinforcements. Alright, loot and occupy. And you guys just hang out here for a while. So, Mechanigear has... We max out Ballistics Instructor, we take extra powder, we should still have a point left over to cap off Triangulation as well. That's pretty obviously the right move. This has gone really smoothly. This has been an episode where a lot of progress has been made. Alright. Rebellion down. And we gave those rebels plenty of time to draw off all of all of the malcontents from this area. So hopefully public order should be, yes, very, very under control here. That is excellent. Loot. May as well upgrade the bell just in case. We are definitely not going to need the recruitment structure here anymore, but also there's absolutely no reason to demolish it or anything. Do I want a garrison building? Yeah, you know, it's as good as anything else. There's not really anything else for us to build out here. Was this the turn that Marienburg's dock upgrade's available? Yeah, okay, let's make sure that we pay for that before I spend any other money anywhere else. That is, like, one of the most important things in the entire game. That is a lot of extra gold per turn. So Chance Stab now has all of the personal yellow line points. No, never mind. He actually still has a lot of spell points he could pick up here. And I guess he doesn't really have anything else to grab, so let's learn Scorch. Let's learn Arms Dealer. Let's max out Arms Dealer instead. This is mostly for the trade income, honestly. Then Hedar's army has enough movement to... Okay, we cannot threaten Ulysses the Insane this turn, but we can get into position to do so very easily next turn. And after that's done, I'm not exactly sure which direction he's going in. I know we had other rebellions in the area that needed to be dealt with. He can figure that out next turn. Malekith didn't move at all. He's just going to stand there and raid, which is fine by me. So that, I believe, reduces the Border Princes to just Castle Drakenhof then, right? It's a pretty good outcome for us. They really haven't put up much of a resistance. They've been so focused on harassing my minor settlements for no reason. They forgot to try to survive. Most good strategies in war start with try to survive. You know, I'm not going to pretend that I've run a lot of successful military campaigns in the real world or anything, but I think, you know, common sense dictates that probably you do better in a war when you survive. Are you still exhausted? He is still exhausted. Could you maybe successfully assassinate this guy while exhausted? Yeah, probably. Aw, that's a shame. Erat's supposed to be really good at his job, but I don't know, man. I'm not seeing a lot of evidence. Vamik, I guess just go back and annoy these guys for a while. They are very on guard because we keep harassing them, so we're going to fail a lot of actions here. But also, sometimes we're going to succeed, and the failure doesn't really cost us much. Vamik was developing as a fighter. We'll roll him into one of these armies down here, probably at some point, like Remamute. Yeah, Remamute could use him. But for now, he can keep being annoying. I do like a good combat assassin. Okay, you are... Oh, I'm broke. Well, don't do anything then. Just hang out. Please don't draw pay this turn. You are definitely not needed in the north anymore, so I guess, yeah, just get back to doing this. Alright, do the Sudenburg... Yep, Sudenburg guys do, in fact, have a Van von Volkvan just waiting for us. They seem to have a lot of units for a force that's as... for a faction that's as small and weak as they are. Yes, this is what Hadar is going to be doing next. So we moved everybody else in this area away. There was other stuff that needed to be taken care of. Okay, and we did get our 4th vial of warp fuel, so let's get that Doom Rocket timer ticking down. So yeah, we haven't moved Obside, that's on purpose. We don't have any money to repair Eshin, because I have not prioritized it even a tiny little bit. Down here, just food generation, right? There's nothing else we need to do. Yeah, the Conquest modifier will wear off, and then our public order will be fine, so. How are we doing on food from settlements? We are currently paying out 140 settlements, or 147 settlement food per turn. We're bringing in 50 from commandments plus 71 from buildings. Honestly, it's getting toward being under control. We're headed in the direction of it being under control. We're about to have a rebellion in Averheim. That's a bummer, man. That's the thing we have people in position to deal with, but still a bummer. Alright, let's run one more cycle of enemy turns here. I think this has been a very successful episode. We've done a lot of good work here. Also, the Sword of Cain rests. One of the High Elves was able to resist the call of the sword, which is probably good for us. An enemy army carrying the Sword of Cain is truly terrifying. It has its downsides for the wielder, of course. You know, cursed swords are like that. But I would much rather fight that. I would much rather fight Lothern without the Sword of Cain than with it. So now that we've pretty much put down all of the northern trouble, we do have to start thinking about the long-term plan of wiping out the pirates and taking their stuff because their settlements are important to us. We might want to consider breaking our defensive alliances with them relatively soon. I think we want to break stuff down 10 turns before we attack. Although I guess the value of playing by the rules diplomatically is that, you know, other people are willing to be your ally. I was thinking about that because I was thinking we needed to keep Clan Moors friendly. At this point, do I care what other people think of us? If Clan Pestilens wanted to, like, not be friends anymore, it really wouldn't be the end of the world. And, well, I guess we do have the World Walkers. Having the World Walkers on our side is definitely helpful. Oh, please, please, please tell me you're going to occupy this. Ah, that's a shame. Well, okay, but he still did stop outside the fort. But we should have the movement range to grab that army. Wait, his turn's not actually over. Okay, no, he went back in. That's a shame. The easy version of that was denied to us. Oh well, that's fine. We can do it the hard way. I think we've shown that on a number of occasions. Hergig is being attacked by the rebels because we didn't get him dealt with in time. Ah well. We have so many rebels, you know? So, my plan for dealing with those northern rebels was to just have the, Okay, Biofitch is loyal again. Undercity's expanding aggressively. Our miners are doing some fine work. Yeah, my plan was to just have Scheif sweep across the north and clean all that stuff up, but yeah, definitely taking too long. On the whole, though, if you look at the number of times you can see our flag here, it's obvious that things are going pretty well. Like, negative 54 food per turn hurts, but the fact that 149 food is going out every turn to settlement upkeep is one of those good problems, one of those problems you want to have. So on the whole, I'm feeling pretty good about our situation here. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, tomorrow, when perhaps we can find a situation where we can hurl a doom rocket at somebody again. Won't that be fun? And we'll see you then.